Wait, hang on. Yeah, here we go. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the first game of the Reddit Dota 2 League EU season 2020. 2022. That's the right date, man. You gotta say the right thing. Anyway, here we are for game number 1. Let's see who's going to take this series to get a good start in the rest of this tournament. You know, it's always nice to win the first match. You can set a real easy pace then for the rest of the tournament. Gives you a lot of confidence going into your next games. So, both these two teams are going to be trying their best to really get a head start. Incredibads leading up, taking away the Nature's Prophet. That is a hero which he's picked up quite a bit on the side of Team Raptors. Or just say Mike Oxlong against the world. I'm going to have to just abbreviate that to Team Mike. The Incredibads is pretty easy to say, so you know I'm happy saying that all the time. No worries there, boys. No worries there. So I'm just sorting out side panels in a minute. As you do, as you do. So there's then the Puck and the Lycan band coming out from Mike Oxlong. And then immediately the first pick of the Nyx Assassin. This is one of the heroes which has been in the meta since the 7.28 patch. Loads of teams absolutely love picking up. It's heavily grabbed in the pro scene. If it's not banned, it is picked normally in the first phases, and for good reason. It's a very scary position forward to play up against, able to make a lot of space and roam around the map and do set up for ganks. So it's always a safe pick to go for. And there is the Oracle pickup coming out from the Incredibads as their first hero pickup. Easy position 5, always a pretty stable one to go with. Able to pull a lot of heroes out of dodgy situation if they ever get caught out. There is the Mars grab. Mars also one of those heroes who's been quite high in the meta, and that is going to be picked up by Mike Oxlong. Now, obviously, traditionally, the Mars always used to just be an off-lane hero. You'd only ever see it as a position 3, but a few teams on the pro scene have actually been running it as either a mid lane and in some cases as a position 1. It is rarer for it to see as a pos 1 Mars, but it is the potential to that. But there is a high chance that it could be ran as the mid laner. Probably, maybe they'll just leave it into the hands of their off lane though. We'll have to wait and see where it ends up. Then there is the Ricky pickup from the Incredibads. Another one of those heroes which has appeared in this new patch. Quite forerunner in the position 1 meta so far. Generally, you know, Ricky, back in the day, you'd go first item Diffusal Blade, and then you just use that item to try and go for some early aggression and try and get your farm going on by just getting kills across the map. But now, with the new patch, it's swapped up, and generally players go for like a Battle Fury into the Aghanim Scepter build nowadays, as it just allows you to keep farming up as well as doing quite a bit of damage in the team fight. So it's a pretty nice, tasty pickup. Not the easiest thing to counter in the world either. So we'll see how this Mars Nyx Assassin lane is going to fare up against the Ricky Oracle. Obviously, the Oracle going to be able to throw out quite a lot of saves for the Ricky, keep him generally quite safe. But you can never quite guarantee that someone that you are going to save them every single time. There is still going to be the potential for the Ricky to go down, especially against a dual stun setup. So he's got to be quite on his toes there. I think as soon as the Oracle leaves that lane, the Mars and the Nyx are going to be straight on top of that Ricky, trying to pressure him out the lane at least. Don't always have to get the kill. You know, it's never crucial to actually take the hero off the map. You just want to pressure them back to the tower, force them to use their regen and slowly whittle them down, which is just an effective way of winning the lane. But we'll have to see where it ends up. So Mike Oxlong, they banned out the Night Stalker and the Slardar, as well as now the Marana. Meanwhile, the Incredibads, they got rid of the Bat Rider, the Wraith King. Wraith King, one of those heroes which is very popular lately as well. So they take the wise idea of just making sure that's removed off the map, as well as the Juggernaut ban there. So we'll see what the third hero pickup is going to be for the Incredibads. Obviously, they've already got their safe lane sorted with the Ricky Oracle. So most likely going to see their position 4 or 3 picked up now. And then that will start really sort of setting the pace on how they want to play this game. And it is going to be the Earth Spirits. That's a position 4 hero which loves to get active and start roaming around the map and setting up for kills. So whatever hero they're going to grab for their mid laner, probably going to be someone who can, set up for the easy rolling boulder connections into the kickbacks and maybe go for some cheeky kills in the mid lane. So heroes that like to do that are things like the OD, but the OD's already gone. Possibly go for like a Storm Spirit as well with the Electric Vortex pullback, sets up for the easy roll connection as well. There's plenty of possibilities for them to go for. So see how Mike Oxlong is going to respond and see what they're going to grab up for their third hero. Using it for a fair bit of their reserve time, gone for halfway through, and it is going to be the Enchantress grab. So that's their POS 5 picked up. And the Enchantress, relatively defensive hero. You don't quite get aggressive whenever you've got an Enchantress in your lane, so they're probably going to be looking to pick up more of a greedier position 1, I imagine. Someone who wants to get a little bit more farm online. So could potentially see Medusa was quite big in the meta for a while. For like a good solid week, there was quite a lot of Medusa pickup, so it could maybe Mike Oxlong could potentially be thinking about picking that up for their position 1. Obviously, traditionally the old super greedy position 1 heroes were things like the Spectre, but where Spectre nowadays, you just never ever see this hero. Really rarely pops up, and whenever it does, it never quite feels as potent as it always used to. It's just the way the meta shifts and changes. Some heroes get better, some heroes get slightly worse. It's not even like the Spectre got nerfed significantly. They just sort of dropped out of favour. So we'll have to wait and see how they're going to roll with that. But still the 4th pickup waiting out for the Incredibads. Probably going to be their off-laner now and then leave their mid to get the final pick to try and get the more favourable matchup, as they do have last pick of the game. Unless they want to have their off-lane as their last pick of the game to really try and cherry-pick the right hero to counter out the position 1 coming out on the side of Mike Oxlong. Is that potential? But it's actually going to be the Death Prophet gab from the Incredibads. A lot of teams have been running this as a position 5 as well, but seeing as how they've already got the Oracle grab, it's pretty safe to assume this Death Prophet is going to be for the mid lane. So it's looking like the off-laner is going to have the final pickup for their team. And see if give them the best possible option to try and counter out what the coming position 1 for Mike Oxlong is going to be. So maybe they might just ban out, maybe they might pick up their mid laner now themselves to just try and leave their position 1 a little bit of extra wiggle room, perhaps. So it all depends on what sort of hero you want to be rolling up against the Death Prophet. Death Prophet, whenever you're playing up against that, it's very hard to play a lot of melee mid heroes. Just the Soul Siphon is really easy to zone people out, chase after them, push them out the lane, really reduce their effectiveness on how they're able to actually progress their own farm. So we could potentially just see Mike Oxlong going for just a ranged core hero for their mid, just to try and mitigate the effect that the Death Prophet does have. And it is going to be the Leshrac. Another one of those heroes which likes to run at you, similar sort of style as the Death Prophet, so maybe we might just see these two heroes clash in the mid, butting heads with each other. But I imagine in terms of actual AoE damage, the Leshrac would come out on top in that situation. But with the Soul Siphon though, actually stealing life away, could be quite a tricky situation to be in. So maybe the Lesh just gonna, look to hit those split earths and just try and get the distance and break off the Soul Siphons that way. Obviously just one of those heroes that love to go for a like first item bot, something like that. Go for pure movement speed and just try and abuse the mobility that those items do give you. But who knows? Keep getting rubbish tunes, man, on this epic playlist, or so it is called on Pretzel. Seems like garbage to me. So it is still the position 1 for Mike Oxlong to pick up, and the offlaner for the Incredibads. Mike Oxlong, they've actually banned out the Queen of Pain and the Arc Warden, so maybe they're thinking that this Death Prophet then is going to be going off to the offlane instead. There is the potential for that to move over in that direction, so we'll have to see if that is something that they're going to be doing. They've still got one more ban to work with, plenty of reserve time as well, so they can really think about what it is that they want to get rid of right now. They haven't got to rush themselves into just a wasted ban. But it is going to be the Ursa. This does do pretty well against the Death Prophet. You can just try and out DPS the healing that the Soul Siphon does give you, but it's not exactly like it's a super easy counter. But even still, the Incredibads will take that out of the pool. And we'll see what Mike Oxlong are going to go with instead. Let's see what other sort of position wants to go for. There's still the PL in the pool. The PL isn't too bad when going up against something like the Ricky. You can always easily Phantom Rush out of the cloud if you ever get caught out. But then, mind you, with this new Ricky where it's the Battle Fury into the Ags, it probably wouldn't work out too well. So it's going to be the PA instead. Going to force that Ricky to build out to an MKB. He doesn't mind it too bad, but he never wants to rush the IM. So it's going to be quite a while before it's going to be reliable damage coming up from the Ricky onto the PA. Unless, of course, he gets very lucky and then just ends up giving the PA anyway with just constant backstabs. But, you know, sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. We'll have to see how that evasion works out. So this final pickup for the Incredibads, is it going to be a mid laner and then the Death Prophet pushed off to the off lane? Or is it just going to be another off lane? We'll see what they want to grab to pair up with the Earth Spirit going up against a PA Enchantress. Tidehunter's still in the pool, doesn't do too badly against the PA. As long as if you don't get absolutely dumps in the lane and the PA gets a massive net worth lead over the top of you. Otherwise then it can be a little bit awkward to deal with. Especially seeing as how, maybe that's something they were thinking about picking up anyway, seeing as how they already pre-banned the Ursa. As we all know, Ursa just shreds a Tidehunter any day of the week. So we'll have to wait and see what they're going for. Maybe even a Timbersaw. Timbersaw's not too bad actually going up against the PA and the Enchantress. If you ever get slowed out, you've always got that Timber Chain just to pull you out of sticky situations. As well as actually just doing quite a lot of reliable damage onto the PA. Okay, but it is actually going to be the Wind Ranger pickup coming out for the Incredibads. So we'll see where A is going to run onto. Harbinger's going to end up taking that PA. Saman takes the Death Prophet. So it is going to be a off-lane DP then. And then Harbinger putting this into a mid-lane Wind Ranger with the Ricky as their safe. Everything in the on the side of Mike Oxlong, pretty much going into the roles you would expect. Raptors taking that Lesh, going for the mid. The PA, safe lane, paired up with the Enchantress. Trubo on the Mars with Mangology on the Nyx Assassin. So, I mean, it can be quite scary, as I said at the very start of this draft. The safe lane for the Incredibads can be a little bit scary sometimes, going up against that double stun setup. But, you know, it all just depends if you ever get caught out in the situation, especially as long as if Polar Bear is always in the right position to respond to that sort of aggression, then the Ricky should be fine. But then if it's Polar Bear that gets got on instead, maybe it's going to be a different situation. The Oracle probably will die. But, you know, that's Dota. The position 5. If there's going to be a hero that dies, you always want it to be the pos 5. As sad as it is, that's Dota. Hard life, eh? Hard life. Oh, and here we are. Kicking off game number 1 between the Incredibads and Mike Oxlong. I ain't saying the whole name. I refuse. This is not happening. We see actually a 4-man movement coming out from the Incredibads straight away, heading down towards this bot lane. Bit of a smoke up as well, so maybe they want to try and go for some sort of first blood play up against Mike Oxlong's side, but it's just What Is Real heading down here himself, while the rest of the members are making a similar aggressive move up towards the top lane. So it doesn't look like anyone's going to get caught. Unless What Is Real doesn't actually hide by the tower. If he keeps heading the way he's going, he could just run straight into every member of the Incredibads and give away an easy first blood. Luckily for him, he does start heading into the trees and he will hide. And he pops the smoke onto everyone, so all the rest of the members of the Incredibad realise that someone was just hiding by the tier 1 tower. And unfortunately for them, their level 1 aggression doesn't actually end up paying out and they don't find anyone for it. But you know, you can't win every time, it's worth the attempt.
Nice.
Meanwhile,
Don't
you know,
be mad.
the other side of Mike Oxlong heading up towards the top, they didn't find anyone either, as King was just hiding by the tier 1 tower. So both teams just completely mirroring each other right now. I think maybe though the Incredibads had a little bit more information as they actually went into the Radiant jungle, so they know exactly where everyone else is, and well, likewise Mike Oxlong, they'll know exactly where the rest of the Incredibads are. So ends up just being a 2-for-2 trade on the bounties. No advantage gained, nothing lost. Very standard start to the game. So we'll have to see how this mid lane matchup goes with the Leshrac up against the Wind Ranger. Obviously, if the Lesh tries to making runs at the Wind Ranger, it's so easy just to pop that Wind Run, get the distance as well. You can always just go for like a cheeky shackle shot, hold back the Lesh as well. So should have a little bit of an easier time than what a Death Prophet would. There's always that split up though, just to secure those easy last hits. Always got to make sure you get that first last hit of that range creep. Always giving out that big XP reward. But very, very similar CS for the level 1 trade. Raptors is making sure he secures every single one of those range creeps. As long as if you don't have to just crush the other person in terms of last hits, as long as if you just make sure you're securing your own and getting those levels as well. It's when you start getting out-leveled by just having loads of denies go up against you, that's when it starts to become a real dangerous lane. You know, losing a media creep every now and then doesn't matter too badly. You just got to make sure you do not lose those range creeps. Magic goes a roll forward, just a little bit of harassment onto what is real. Just poking and prodding away. It does look like the kill threat between the Death Prophet and an Earth Spirit. It's not going to be too easy to get any sort of kills onto the PA because he can just Phantom Strike off onto the Enchantress. But if the Enchantress gets caught out herself like this, now Soul Siphon coming up from Saman, the roll forward for Magic actually ends up missing. He rolls his tower. Meanwhile, up top, King actually ends up getting the first blood. Looks like Magic's actually getting pretty low. A few last right clicks being traded away. Nice little Impetus Strike comes out there, does quite a lot of damage. It brings down Magic. Now Saman's left all alone. He's in a pretty terrible situation. He starts falling back. There was a Dagger and Blink Strike online for what is real, but he decides not to use it. Just going to make sure he doesn't lose any CS in the lane. But yeah, I did actually miss the first blood that came up top on King. Actually getting the kill onto Trebo as well, of all people. So not even just getting the kill onto the position 4, taking away the actual core of the top lane. Perfect target to find. I mean, it's already a 2-level difference. Well, there, he just got his level 2 now, but that's pretty scary at one point. I'm not quite sure how even an Oracle Ricky manages to find the first blood kill onto the Mars. Unless Mangology was just maybe trying to counter a pull attempt or a stack attempt coming up from Polar Bear. And Treebo just got unlucky. I'm not too sure. But it happened. That's all that matters. You know what, down bot. Magic's actually getting gone a little bit. Kicks the boulder away just to make a bit of space. But there's another dagger online. He's getting slowed up. Has to go for another roll out there just to make sure he doesn't give any kills away off to this PA. But he needs to be careful though, Dreddy. He's actually trying to cut him off. Not going to get close enough for a little Impetus Strike though. So Magic will be okay. But he's been forced completely miles away from the lane right now. And Dreddy's actually still on the hunt. He's just hanging around by the tier 1 tower. He realised Magic's hanging about. He smells the blood of the Earth Spirit. But he will now decide to actually start heading back towards the lane. I mean, the PA feels quite happy actually to solo up against a Death Prophet. Well, actually up top, Polar Bear and King making a little bit of aggressive moves onto Mangology, taking quite a bit of damage. Another Blink Strike forward, as well as the Purifying Flames. That's enough to grab another kill for this Ricky. Lovely start for him. Also pretty high up in the CS chart as well, 15 and 3. Not the, you know, not the highest up on the board, but definitely still doing a very good job in CS, as well as now having 2 kills. Lovely start. What? Looks like Harbinger. He's able to grab up the double damage room. The Raptors was on his tail, especially the fact that Leshrac is 1 level over the top of him. The Harbinger should actually have his 5 as soon as he gets that melee creep kill. Going for those 3 points of the arrows, 2 into the wind run. Going for just maximum damage. Not really going to bother about going for the shackle shot just yet. Meanwhile, Raptis going heavy in the split up as well as the Diabolic Edict. Wants to just go for a big tower pushing build. Try and apply a bit of early aggression. Obviously, you can't really do that when you're half HP and going up against a double damage Wind Ranger. That's just begging for trouble. So we'll just use a downtime fire up to neutrals. That bomb. A little bit of a scuffle down there. Oi's Brew is getting pretty low. Able to just walk it off though. Especially with the Magic Wand giving him plenty of charges. Meanwhile, Magic is actually on the hunt for Dreddy. He gets the connection there with the Rolling Boulder. Dreddy's pretty damn low. He's running straight into the waiting arms of Saman. Oh, he did capture onto the Troll. Tried to get the net onto the Magic, make a little bit of space, but unfortunately for him, just wasn't enough. The right click came out from Saman to finish him off. Meanwhile, up top, Tribo Mangology managed to find an easy kill onto Polar Bear. Obviously, it's not that big, juicy kill of the Ricky Maru, but hey, you'll take it. Take what you can. So immediately, maybe they want to go for a little bit of aggression there onto the Mars. But there's the Impale as well as the Spear coming up from Tribo, trying to lock down King. It's not enough damage to find a kill though. There is even a salve in the hands of Polar Bear just to bring King back up. So he's going to bring out a Clarity for him as well. Oh, maybe going for another Fortune's End onto Tribo. The King, he doesn't quite want to jump this time. A little bit too low on mana to really keep the aggression going. Only enough for just one leap. It's a very wise to just not bother going for that. Would have been a waste of time. But still, the CS in this mid lane is incredibly similar. 36-2 to Harbinger and 35-3 to Raptis. Both of these two just very happily just chilling out in this mid lane, farming up the waves. Only a slight little damage lead on the tower for a Harbinger as well. And Mangology just wanted to get a little cheeky last hit, but King says no, takes that away from him. Actually running forward with the God's Rebuke, slowing down King. Raptis is coming in from the side as well. Wants to maybe get the grab onto the Ricky Maru, but instead they have to change targets to go for Polar Bear. Go for the easier kill of the two. Obviously not quite as juicy, especially with the rotation of Raptis. I mean, it is a little bit of summit, but maybe the time that Raptis takes away from the lane might not be worth it, all in all. Meanwhile, down bottom, Dreddy and What Is Real able to get a kill onto Saman, possibly even a kill onto Magic, but in comes Harbinger, one arrow to the face, and What Is Real dies, and Dreddy's going to be short to follow. Actually pops up his salve just so he can actually heal away from this. And it looks like he should make it. Harbinger, he manages to cancel out the salve, but the arrow is not on the mark. And he will, Dreddy, just able to survive that situation. But even still, a much better value kill of the position one. Definitely a little bit of a better rotation coming out from Harbinger than what Raptis was able to perform with. But even still, his rotation has secured the tier 1 tower. So I think they're perfectly happy with that. King, he's actually just stalking Tribo right now. Gonna just lay a couple of hits into it, miss another kill onto Mangology in the mid, and Tribo will be fine. Go in the mid, Raptis getting gone on with the rapid fire coming out from Harbinger. Roll forward, one more Purifying Flames hit coming out from Polar Bear, and that is enough damage to bring down Raptis as well. So nice bit of rotations coming out from the Incredibads. Finding the spaces to get these all-important kills. I imagine once Raptis respawns, he might just head down towards the bot lane perhaps to try and get a kill. Speaking of the bot lane, Saman, he drops as well. There's kills that's happening left, right and centre in this game. Definitely the stuff that What Is Real needs to really start keeping his game going. He's got finished Power Treads and a Wraith Band coming out on the Courier. Oh, actually just the finished Wraith Band. Oh, in the mid tree, but he actually dropped the arena and they got killed the Harbinger as well. God damn, I'm missing everything. This is terrible camera work. Ooh, so fucking bad. Some BM right there. Some real BM. Just trying to tilt out the his opponents. Unless there is some serious bad blood between these two players that I just don't know of. Who knows? But you like to think it's all peaceful. It's all just lovely bit of a little bit of bants. So despite the fact that Raptis has gone for a max Diabolic Edict build, he's not actually been able to do much damage onto this tier 1 tower whatsoever. Just Harbinger's always been here whenever Raptis has been in here as well. Always able to just counter push out the wave and making sure that their tower is as safe as possible. Even just both supports as well from the side of the Incredibads just hanging about. Making sure that Any sort of aggression does come out from Mike Oxlong. They're going to be able to counter it. Now it's just a 1v1 between the two position ones up top. Both level 7 as well. Only a very small XP lead for King. But actually, Wadsworth was trying to get aggressive. Goes for the dagger and the Phantom Strike forwards, but King just disengages. Maybe sensing the fact that the Nyx is probably in the area. Actually, this Deep Observer Ward definitely spotted him out. So now King sees absolutely everyone coming up top. He's like, I ain't dealing with this. There's a few members of the Incredibads moving into this area, but a bit of a dodgy situation to go for. Actually, Magic, he jumps forward just to get the bounty rune. It might cost him his life, though, as the Mangology's there with the Impale. So sure, he takes away a bounty rune, but it costs him his life. But in terms of actually how much net worth that gives you, it just slightly favours. It would be 300 gold in total, that bounty. He gave away 210, so 90 gold profit for the team, not for him. He definitely lost money. But again, life of support, eh? It's all for the greater good. You know what, down part, King's actually made the rotation, and now Dreddy's getting dived underneath the tower. Exorcism's dropped as well. He's trying to weave in and out, waste as much time as he can, but in comes Trebo with the arena. His spear actually ends up missing, doesn't connect on the Saman. I don't think it's going to matter though. Saman's still going to drop here, and Dread actually able to keep himself safe behind the tier 1 tower. Needs to be careful though, because King's waiting for him to step out of position. Sadness going to change targets, jumps straight onto Trebo with the rapid fire from Harbinger. It brings him down, and now Dreddy needs to get out of there as fast as he can. Magic is going to come in as well to lend a helping hand. There's the arrow, there's the kick, there's the Purifying Flames. One more hit, and they bring him down as well. So sure, the Death Prophet does die. But at least they managed to grab 2 kills and probably set up to take this tier 1 tower. Raptus, he actually used this time perfectly. He's finally able to take down this tier 1 in the mid lane. Using all that space that his 2 teammates was able to give him. And really just get the efficiency that they need out of the map in that sort of situation. There's no way to keep this tier 1 tower alive. So at least what is real is able to carry on farming up. Raptus, able to keep pushing in, applying a bit of pressure onto the towers. Even Dreddy just TPing in. Filling up his bottle and giving him those extra charges. Oh, and even finding the bounty rune. Gaben smiles upon him. That's a whole extra free bottle charge. Full mana on for Raptus. Lucky bastard. So how's the item progression coming out from King? He's about 1300 gold still away from finishing up his Battle Fury. Meanwhile, what is real... He's a bit further away. He still needs his Claymore as well as the 2 Rings of Health, so definitely just a slightly better start for the Ricky Murray. As you can see, the net worth just that 300 gold difference. But apart from that, actually, as well as the fact that King just completely skipped out his power treads, just wanted the basic brown boots, wanted to get that Battle Fury online as fast as he can to really start getting the efficiency out of the map. The Vendetta's online as well as the Mars Arena, so maybe they're thinking about trying to get a grab here onto the Ricky. There is a dire scan that got put down there from King, and it will connect, so he realised this move is coming out, and he's going to fall back just in time. So nice scan usage there from him. Mangology? He didn't know that he's right next to him. Obviously there's no possible way to know. But a few stacks being made as well onto the Ancients on the side of the Incredibads. Just waiting for when the Ricky does have that Battle Fury online. He's going to be able to farm up this stack very, very easily. We'll wrap this. He's got his Yule Scepter online, going straight now in for that BKB. Wants to avoid all the magic lockdown that they do have on the Incredibads. You've got the Shackle Shot from the Wind Ranger, the Smoke Cloud from the Ricky, the Death Prophet, Silence and Soul Siphon, the Fate's Edict, the Rolling Boulder, the Kick as well. Just loads of status effects, slows and stuns coming up from the side of Incredibads. That BKB will definitely do a good job in dodging. Oh, King, he steps in, just a little bit close. And the dust is slightly off the mark, but the drop down the central ward as well, but he's already into the trees. But he runs into him, they spot him out, there's the net. Oh, he just went into the fog just as it landed. He doesn't actually get the connection, the arena gets dropped. King, he's able to just jump off to the side. He does get hit by the Impale there, but it doesn't matter. The reinforcements are coming from the Incredibads, and now they're going to turn this situation around. There's the Fortune's End, slow down Mythology. Ooh, Harbinger, how did he just got dropped? No idea what the hell happened there. Actually died in the mid, forget that. He wasn't involved whatsoever, but even still, King's able to find the grab onto Mangology. So it looks like the Trebo wants to disengage. Not quite sure what he wants to do though. Dreddy charging forwards. Maybe thinking about starting to fight onto this Oracle, but there's the roll from Magic. Gets the connect onto Dreddy. And with a Purifying Blast, it finishes him off. Now, Tribo needs to be careful. There's a Smoke Cloud slowing them down. They can't quite escape just yet, but he's able to get out of dodge with a sliver of HP. So it's just a little trade of both the supports on the side of Mike Oxlong did end up dropping, but I think it was the solo kill that Raptis was able to get onto Harbinger. So I think they're happy with how that sort of situation went, but unfortunately King, he was just so slippery, able to dodge out the arena and the spear as well. And the fact that he stepped out of that sentry ward at just the right time, that it completely negated the net that came out from the troll. Like, I can't even say that's skill on his box. There's no way he would have known where that sentry was. So that, in my opinion, is pretty damn lucky. He might not have had a huge impact. He still might have been able to do tricks of trade out and avoid the incoming damage, but it would have been forced to use that skill just that moment sooner. But now we do see that battle through online for King. He's going to go straight onto these Ancients. Here's a triple stack, so this is going to be a nice chunk of gold going over to him. Oh, damn, these Ancients hurt quite a lot though. Even still, stack's pretty much gone now. No contestation coming out from the side of Mike Oxlong either. So he's able to take that for free. And that pretty much is his power trade. Still just a few hundred gold away. Actually, a 3-man smoke up coming out from 3 members of the Incredibad. But no member from Mike Oxlong is in this vicinity. You can completely avoid that gank. Meanwhile though, the other members of Mike Oxlong, they're going to see Polar Bear going for the kill onto the wards. Oh, unfortunately for him, he dropped down the sentry, but it was onto the low ground, so they can't actually get that final vision onto that ward to get the kill. None of these guys have an ability to get vision up on the high ground. There is a courier coming in from Dreddy though, so I imagine he'll use that to get a sight on it. Easy way of getting a free ward kill. Obviously, Polar Bear would have wanted to deny that ward, but it's just way too sketchy to try and come into this area to get that deny. You just don't quite know if they might all just jump on you if they get the vision. Very dangerous situation to put yourself into. But the rest of the members of Mike Oxlong move down to this spot to try and take it down, and it will finish it off. Meanwhile, up top, what is real? He's getting gone on by 2 members, and he just managed to get the Phantom Strike over to Mangology, keeps him safe, and he will manage to disengage. Nice plays there by him. Mangology as well, just giving him the target to jump on out. Good bit of teamwork. There's 4 members from the Incredibads up in this area, so needs to be a little bit careful. Actually, they're just going to force themselves to TP back down to bot. Dreddy looks like he's been caught out, couldn't quite retreat. Meanwhile, King, he doesn't care about the enchanters. He wants the big juicy kill of the Leshrat, but needs to be careful though. The arena gets dropped into the spear as well. It's too much damage, and King, he just gets brought down. And they didn't even get the kill to Dreddy. Dreddy, even he's able to escape. Oh no, that situation was disastrous there for the Incredibads. Tier 2 tower's nearly dead as well. They don't find a kill, and it costs them the life of their Ricky. Unfortunately, it's just one of those situations where it's quite hard to know whether just grab the kill and just get what you can. It did look quite juicy there going for that Leshrac, so it's quite understandable about why he did it. There's a double damage rune that gets spotted out by Saban, and he's going to straight up grab it. And the wise choice is there was a Mangology coming right at him. Would have been a scary situation to be in. But even still, despite the fact that King did actually die in that situation, he's still 500 gold over the top of what is real. But now that what is real has his own Battle Fury, his farming pace shouldn't be too far behind the Rickies. Working towards the Death Layer as his next main item as well. Actually in the mid, Mangology, he got the break onto Solar Bear, but then changed his target of stunning up onto the Wind Ranger. There's not going to be enough follow-up though. He's able to escape, but there's the spear. It grabs onto Magic, pushes him all the way off to the side. Do they have enough damage to bring him down? But there's the False Promise coming out, so he's going to be alive for now. He's just going to carry on getting aggression, and he's probably going to end up dying after this False Promise anyway. He wants to get the most use out of it. They're doing quite a bit of damage. He does eventually pop. There's another stun that comes out same as well as the arena. They just drop it all. They're going to manage to get the kill onto him, and now the rest of the Incredibads need to get out of there. It's a real dangerous situation to be in. Polar Bear's trying to limp away, but what is real just crits him in the face, chucks him down. 3 deaths on the side of Incredibads. And Mike Oxlong, they don't lose anybody. And they might just set up to try and take down this tier 2 tower once this creep wave's in. And It's definitely a good time to do it. They got their Diabolic Edict, they got everything else, and there's no glyph available as well, so the Incredibads used it at that bot lane. Angology just sit back behind the tier 2 tower as well, seeing if every member of the Incredibads steps out of position and potentially give away a free easy kill, but they got the game sense not to put themselves into any sort of sticky situation like that. Even King actually just TPing out the top, maybe thinking that a few members of Mike Oxlong were going to come gank him, and sure enough they were heading this direction, so he made the right call. Especially as the 20-minute bounties end up spawning. And also, Mike Oxlong having control of both the outposts as well, able to secure a big chunk of that experience. Actually, they managed to find the stun there on Susema. It looks like he will fall. Meanwhile, Mangology's getting gone on by the rest of them. He's able to stun up Harbinger despite carapace, but it's not going to be enough to save his life. He does end up dropping down, but it's a trade for the position 3 on the side of the Incredibads, so I don't think he minds too badly about how that went. And now, sure enough, just using their power spike that Mike Oxlong got, they realise that they're ahead, and they're just going to keep applying this pressure. Now working up through the top lane, and going to try and take down this tier 2 up here as well. I mean, there's still no glyph, and this is actually a Carty wave, so there is the potential that Mike Oxlong could try and force this up onto the high ground, if they so wish. But it doesn't look like they're going to bother, though. I think Gucci Magic was able to take down the tier 1 in the mid, at least. But sure enough, yeah, Mike Oxlong, they will just fall back. They don't want to get too greedy pushing up onto the high ground just yet. And Mangology leading the charge. They want to try and find something. And he's going to run into magic. He sees him here. Not quite sure if he wants to go on him just yet, though. He leads up with the Impale. With the follow-up there from What Is Real. Not able to get a crit, though. Gucci's actually able to find the opening to roll on out. Ooh, the spear as well. Just slightly missing him. So he will manage to survive this time. Ooh, Raptors nearly actually found him there. I was just looking at the map, and there is no sentry wards online for the Incredibads. They have nothing. They have no vision out of the map. They have no sentry wards. No nothing. Meanwhile, on the side of Mike Oxlong, they've got two observer wards, as well as just a flurry of sentries here and there. Just making sure that there isn't any sort of vision on the side of Incredibads they need to worry about. And it looks like their next target is going to be the final tier 2 as well, for the side of the at the spot. And with that creep wave coming in, they should be able to take this down as well, and probably might force the side of the Incredibads back towards their base, because surely now they might just go high ground. All the tier 2s are down, the base is completely open, they got this creep wave, and they will actually now go for it, especially seeing as there's a few members of the Incredibads just hitting the tier 1 tower up top. Going to give plenty of time, but there is now the TPs coming out. Going to force everyone back to this base. These TPs are coming quite late, but even still there is the glyph that gets popped, so forces back the side of Mike Oxlong now. But now they realise that this glyph is down. The next push they go for can be very, very destructive. If Incredibads tries to take a fight and they end up losing it, they might just end up losing loads of their base as well. And then they'd be in a real bad situation. Mangology, they actually get spotted out by all these sentry walls that are now placed down, and that's just a free kill over to King. This is definitely something that the Incredibads are needed, just any sort of little free grab that they can get. And now they're going to use this one hero advantage, start creeping up and head down towards this mid lane. Obviously there is a buyback up for the Nyx, but only 20 seconds till he respawns anyway, so shouldn't be forced to use it. Incredibads getting very aggressive right now, actually moving over towards the radiant side of the river. There is a scan that comes out from Mike Oxlong, so they realise there's a few members of the Incredibads in this area. The Podebears is putting down a bit of deep vision, and they will actually manage to spot out a few heroes of Mike Oxlong moving around. So getting good buff out of that ward already. King, he's got his Ags, he's got his Battle Fury, so now that his Tricks of the Trade is going to do an absolutely insane amount of damage. Obviously, this the Ags gives you 2 targets, I believe. Cast range, late sight, other hero, hindsight. But it increases attacks. I thought it was Scepter attack, scepter duration. Oh, I thought it gave you multiple hits, unless that's the shard. No, it's not a shard. I don't know. Maybe I'm just making stuff up. But even still, the Ag's very nice item to pick up. Actually, my Oxlong, they've moved into the Roshan pit now. They got 4, well, all of them are in this area. Only 3 of them in the pit at the moment, trying to take it down. Meanwhile, the rest of the Incredibads all sat down the spot. Exorcism has been used to try and pressure in this tier 2. So maybe the fact they will see that my Oxlong isn't reacting at all, that this Roshan's probably going on. And actually, I think they realise it is anyway. That ward, spotting out the fact that Dredden just came out towards the pit. And especially now the fact that Roshan has just died. Actually putting the Aegis into the hands of Raptus as well. Thinking that what is real, he should be pretty safe for a while, so he's not quite going to need it. Meanwhile, Leshrat is a pretty squishy hero, especially seems that he doesn't have the added factor of the evasion, as well as just having generally less armor, but still a very frontline based hero. So it does make sense to put it into his hands. I think what is real's got his finished Desolator coming out on the curry as well, so this is going to be a nice little power spike for the side of Mike Oxlong. They're going to see if they can find a bit. Meanwhile, actually, Mangology and Trubo, they just found an easy kill on Taguchi Magic. He gets brought down really easy, and actually, Raptus is just flying around. He finds the Scepter pick up onto Polar Bear there, and with that dagger comes in and crits him down. And that's an easy kill there for him, but Raptus is diving really deep. He's got this BKB activated, but he's forced now back. All that physical damage coming up with the Ricky Maru is just too damn scary. And he will be forced to retreat, but even still, this is the tier 3 drop-in very, very quickly. With the added help of the... oh, I thought he wasn't going for Desolator. He actually swapped out, got for the BKB instead. It was still pretty good BKB timing. The Oracle's up in 15 seconds. There's no creep wave here, but it doesn't look like Mike Oxlong care about creep waves. They're just going straight up into the high ground, hitting this melee barracks. In comes the backdoor protection. Mangology's getting pretty low. One more hit is actually going to be able to finish him off, and it does get brought down. Now Raptus getting pretty low himself. Loads of damage getting pumped out by the side of Mike Oxlong, though. It doesn't matter. His first life is gone. Looks like Saman, he was going to try and survive with the Soul Siphon. It's not going to be enough. He does end up dropping down. He's gone for 40 seconds. He does have a biohack if he wants to use it, though. No exorcism if he does. But it doesn't look like the side of Mike Oxlong want to back out just yet. They're missing the Mixed Assassin, sure, but they don't mind too badly. And the Ricky, oh, he tried to go for the spear there into the from the tricks of the trade. Oh, but there's a split up. He does manage to find the grab. Out comes the false promise onto King, and now the rest of the Incredibads is going to force the engagement, charge it forwards onto what is real, doing quite a bit of damage. He's able to dodge off to the side with the Phantom Strike. Quick movements there from him, able to keep him safe. So out of that big little flurry of movement, no one dies. Like I say, no one dies, but Polar Bear just gets blown up. He stepped out of position. He gets punished for it straight away. And now that Mangology's respawned, the side of Mike Oxlong's back up to a 5-man power. They don't have an Aegis anymore, and a few members are quite low, Tribo especially. So they will actually just fall back and give respect to the holding potential of the Incredibads, despite the fact that False Promise is used and Rapid Fire was used. But Exorcism is back online now. So definitely a scary thing to be fighting into. So Tribo, he's actually now building up his own BKB. Got that Assault Cuirass as well. Just to help his team try and survive up against the auto attacks coming out from this Ricky. As well as just the little added bonus of being able to siege. Just that tiny bit easier, reducing building's armor by 5. Always just a handy little bonus to have. There's immediately going to actually be the MKB from What Is Real to come out next. Wants to be able to try and stand toe-to-toe with Ricky in the smoke cloud. Doesn't want to have to worry about having trying to dodge out of it all the time. So it will definitely be a nice little item pickup. And he shouldn't have it too far off either. Only about 2,500 gold away. 4 members of the Incredibads all just gathered up in this mid lane at the moment. Maybe it's trying to bait out Harbinger, seeing if anyone on the side of Mike Oxlong tries to go for a cheeky kill. It looks like they will do now. They're coming up with the smoke play. Tribo leading the charge. He drops out of the arena, tries to go for the spear there onto Harbinger. He's able to get the BKB off in time. Polar Bear's trapped in the middle as well. No BKB to try and get him safe. Meanwhile, Tribo's getting low. The false promises come out onto Polar Bear. So now they don't even care about him. He's going to ignore it. Tribo does finally drop. Mangology is going to fall as well. Two members on the side of Mike. Oxlong already gone. Polar Bear finally pops after that false promise. And now King, he gets completely trapped. Nice stun there. Magic comes rolling in, boots him out there as well. And now they're going to turn the situation around. Raptis ends up dropping. It's just what is real. He's getting super low, and he will fall as well. 4 kills to 1 from the Incredibads, completely flipping that situation around. Nice plays there by them. Perfect reaction there from Gucci Magic, rolling in to save King, kicking him out of the situation, and then just completely turning that whole scenario up on its head, finding the easy kills. And there's no buyback on this PA as well for 40 seconds. I don't think there's going to be too much that the Incredibads is going to be able to do with it. They might be able to apply a small bit of pressure on side ground. No, I don't think they'll even go high ground. They'll probably just take this tier 2 and fall back. Unfortunately for them, there's no Roshan they could potentially go for either. And also their main bit of tower pushing, which is this sexism, obviously on cooldown from being forced to use it in that team fight. And they're actually not even going to be able to get the tower. They're all forced to go back with that glyph usage. But now BKB actually finished up for Seaman. So he's going to be able to stand his ground a little bit easier as well. Harbinger almost got his MKB. Only about 800 gold away from finishing that up. King got his own BKB as well, and now working up for a Daedalus as his next item. Already enough just to buy the Chrysalis outright if he wants, or you know, he probably needs to save up for a buyback in these sort of situations. Because if King's gone, that is vast majority of the damage on the side of the Incredibads just completely wiped out. The Wind Ranger can do quite a bit, and the Death Prophet as well. But neither of those two, I mean, they are pretty elusive in some ways. The Death Prophet's always quite difficult to take down, as well as the Wind Ranger's. It's got the Wind Run as well to try and disengage with. But even still, especially with the fact that, you know, that's a fresh 10-second BKB on Seaman. BKB on Harbinger is down to 8 seconds, but still pretty nice duration, as well as a fresh BKB on King as well. So this next team fight coming out from the Incredibads is going to feel so much better for him, as well as the fact that they won that previous one, even without those 2 items. So it's just going to be that much easier for him. I think Mike Oxlong, they're really going to need to find a key initiation. I think if they got the arena grab and the spear onto Harbinger, they might have been able to get the kill, and then possibly just take the whole team fight off the back of that. Now all members on the side of Mike Oxlong grouping up at the bot. Maybe thinking about trying to go for some sort of smoke play if they actually have one. They do have a smoke on Dreddy right now. Even just picking up a gem. Want to deal with that pesky Nyx. And it can be quite annoying having to just constantly be chucking sentries around, making sure he's always dusted. Especially if there's any purges coming out on the side of the Incredibads, which they do have for the Oracle. You can just Fortune end up the Ricky, making sure that, you know, if there is any dust on him, just keep purging them away. Very, very difficult to deal with. They are grouped up, heading up towards the top lane. They still haven't actually popped this smoke yet. Oh, do they even have a smoke? Yeah, they got a smoke in Mangolgi, but not going to bother to use it. Meanwhile, the rest of the Incredibads grouped up by the outpost. The scan does come out from themselves. It's on the opposite side. They're not going to see anything, even with the ward there. But actually, what is real and King? They end up spotting each other. Now they go initial to King. Oh, what is real? He gets shackled to the side before he can pop his BKB. He just gets shredded. Now, Raptis, he has to retreat. Pops his Ghost Scepter to get out of there. He's getting chased down by Kingo. There's your Scepter. The arena also gets dropped, but it doesn't trap anyone. It's completely wasted. And now everyone, even the buyback, forced out from what is real. He's jumping onto the backline, see if he can get the kill onto Polar Bear. But there's the Ghost Scepter as well as False Promise, delaying it all out. King, in the meantime, found a free kill onto Dreddy. Polar Bear, I think he's just... Oh, the False Promise ended. Not that it matters, he will drop. He does die. Was that the shard in it? Yeah, False Promise gives invisibility, which is pretty damn ridiculous. I mean, it's not quite as potent, seeming how, you know, the Incredibads already have a Ricky, so they're going to be a lot of sentry stand anyway, but even still. Actually, did Dreddy have the... I think Dreddy was the one that had the gem on him. So that's also the gem gone over towards the side of the Incredibads, right? Has anyone got it? Oh no, no one's got it. Unless they've dropped it in the base. Am I just blind? Has someone else got it? Where is it? Where's this, Oh, the gem's actually on Trubo. Never mind. They did swap hands.
Future of grief. To a future of grief.
So now, I think Mike Oxlong, they're going to be a little bit afraid now. They've lost 2 engagements in a row, forced a buyback as well on the PA. It's a real bad situation to be in, and now he's actually 6,000 gold net worth behind the Ricky. And that's a spot you never ever want to be in, being that much gold behind the position 1. That's basically an entire item that King has got over the top. And with this status finish, actually going to jump straight into there, hitting down to Dreading, nearly managed to finish off the tricks of the trade, not quite enough to bring him down. Meanwhile, Trubo, he did get shackled up in mid-phase, he's going to pop the arena, but he can be trapped in loads of heroes, but it doesn't matter, there's too much physical damage. Even Gucci Magic nearly drops him, he's able to roll out, he's still able to survive. Meanwhile, the rest of the team is still getting in there. Scepters, BKBs everywhere, everyone's doing dance in the sky. Now it looks like Mangolji, he gets caught in the back lines, he will drop as well. It's been a 2-for-1 trade so far. Samon's just trying to hunt down for more, delaying the escape to see if anyone else from there, Incredibads, can come and help him out, but couldn't slow him down enough. So it ends up being the 3 and the 4 for Mike Oxlong dying, and only the Oracle on the side of the Incredibads actually dropping. And now, the Incredibads are going to move straight into the Roche pit. They're going to use this advantage and just shred this Roche super damn quick. It's getting pinged out now from Mike Oxlong. They realise this is going on, but this is way too late. It's already gone. Aegis into the hands of the Ricky. Cheese for Harbinger as well. And now, that fight that was just real damn hard, it's just even harder now. They really need to find some sort of core pick-off from the side of Mike Oxlong to try and swing these fights into their favour. Every single time they try and take in a 5-on-5 situation, it's just really not going their way. I mean, sometimes if the losses in the fight are relatively small, like losing your position 3 and stuff, it's not too bad. If you're using, like enemies are using their big BKB cooldown charges, it can be worth it in some situations. But the fact that Mike Oxlong used their own BKBs as well, so they're not even gaining that sort of advantage out of the situation. There was the spear from Trubo, push the King back, nearly actually getting a kill with a crit dagger there, taking away the Aegis. And he actually tries to lead the charge, forces uses BKB again. Everyone's BKBs are getting popped, almost all popping down straight away. King's getting pretty low, but he's able to jump on out of there. Mangology tried stepping out, but he just gets rapid fired down, melted in a second. And now it's back to a 4-5. Roll forward there. It does connect with Dreddy, but now he just sets himself up for an easy split earth strike. He's able to force Star back out of the situation and scrape back into the rest of his team. Boysreal's in the front. He has to pop his BKB. They managed to find the grab onto Gucci Magic there with the arena drop. So they do find a kill. It does cost them their arena though. And it looks like that's just going to be the situation for the Incredibads, just to retreat. Especially seems how Exism has now run out. They're not falling back very far though. Maybe they're just faking this out. Actually, the jump forward once again from King. Just applying a little bit of pressure. They can't quite find the opening just yet, especially this Nyx is going to be back up in 10 seconds. And Trubo, he's getting very aggressive outside his base right now. No fear on this man. I feel like Trubo really needs a Blink Dagger or something. Just the side of Mike Oxlong, they're lacking a bit of initiation. All they've really got is Mangology to run the backlines with Vendetta and into an Impale to set up for the kills. But it's not exactly the easiest thing to go up against, especially when there's this dust and sentries coming out from the other team as well to always detect his movements. So yeah, I think maybe Trubo just needs a Blink Dagger to be able to get on top of the backlines of the Incredibads, catch out both the supports maybe. Obviously that's easier said than done. But so far it just feels like to me that's what their team's sort of missing right now. They've got a nice amount of damage from the Lesh and the PA. They've got a nice amount of stun knockdown as well from the Mars and the Nyx. They just need ways to actually get on top of the members of the Incredibles and stay on top of them. Now Ag's actually finished up for Harbinger as well. And they're just immediately heading up to this top lane. A few members of of Mike Oxlong show themselves in the lane. Their scan does actually connect those. They realise that this move's coming out from the Incredibads, and they're going to try and retreat as much as they can. They're going to try and fight around these ward vision though. Mangology tried to go for the stun, but he immediately got cancelled out by the shackle there. Now King, he does his double leap forwards, focusing down towards where he's taking too much damage. The MKB just shredding him. He does manage to get into the arena though to get that protection from the long range projectile, so he is safe. Your Raptors jumps into the backlines, trying to make even more space for the rest of the members, but the shackle connects onto two of them. Treebo's not going to be able to survive this. Dreddy's probably going to fall as well. Actually, he manages to get the Glimmer Cape, run off to the side, but he runs straight into a Sentry Ward. But actually, they're just going to ignore him. They're going to go for the better kill off what is real instead, trying to finish him off. Oh, one more Phantom Strike off to the side. He's able to escape. The rolling boulder actually ends up missing. The one final jump there from King, as well as the crit, brings him down. Dreddy now going for a TP. Very ambitious though in front of everyone. He gets caught out. And that's a 3-for-1 trade. Once again, it's just the Oracle on the side of the Incredibads that drops. Everyone else stays nice and healthy, taking down those big kills. And there is no buybacks on the members of Mike Oxlong right now. So this should just be 2 lanes of barracks going. I mean, there's even Nexusum. They could just go. They could end. I think they could end. They jump forward from King there onto Raptors. Maybe just trying to force him back. I think maybe they're just not too keen on actually just trying to end the game. They're going to take down the barracks. What the hell? There's all these long range aspects coming out. Oh, it's like a delayed thing, isn't it? With the is it a shard? Yeah. Splurf gets instances, but even still they take down the mid barracks and they work their way on towards the bot. There is the glyph, comes out from Mike Oxlong to try and delay this. There's still a few seconds though left of Vexism, so they're going to carry on trying to apply a bit of pressure. The roll forward for Magic, he gets the stun onto Raptors. He's got his Ghost Scepter though to try and make a little bit of space, but even still another double shackle from Harbinger. He catches 2 of them, they both die. Mango's barely able to survive the buyback from Raptors. They want to try and find something here. They manage to get the stun onto Gucci Magic, so they will find the kill onto the Earth Spirit. But even still, that costs you the buyback on the Lesh. They need to be careful. Actually, the Aegis has popped. They're going to turn the situation around. It seems like Kings is fully recharged. All the BKBs end up getting dropped. Harbinger gets blown up, takes way too much damage. Treebo does actually end up getting caught. Now Mangology is trying to retreat and hide into the tree lines. And there's no further vision from the side of the Incredibads to try and catch him. So he will manage to escape. But even still, there's no PF for another 10 seconds. And the Mars is gone for another 70 still. They take down the tier 3 tower. Another just little aggressive jump there from King, just trying to force him back. Now they're going to focus back onto these barracks. A split Earth radius is massive on the recast. Oh, another jump forward from King, manages to get the double tricks of the trade. Oh, what the hell? They all just died! That was real. He jumps in the backlines. He finishes off Oracle at least. But even still, what the hell? Just did all that damage. That was disgusting. And now it's just the Nyx and the PA left. There is a buyback on Treebo, but he's not one of the use it. Another jump forwards. They managed to find an easy kill onto Mangology in the fountain. Another easy peasy kill. And trash. Look at all this BM. Oh, this is serious BM. Oh my days. There's the arena that gets dropped, but the BKB that comes out from Harbinger, he's able to retreat. Bad. Oh man. Alright. I was saying at the start that you hope this is just sort of like casual bans between these two teams. I don't think so. I think they just don't like each other. Please do the tutorial and flame. Too much BM to handle. Too damn much BM. But even still, the Incredibads, they find the kills onto the 2 lanes of barracks. King able to just get the grab there onto the Enchantress. Treebo drops as well. I think it's this game. Yeah, they called it. They called GG. They are done. Oh my days. And yeah. That's some serious BM to win that game, but even still, well played there by the Incredibads, taking this game 1 of this best of 3 series. I think it's best of 3. I'm pretty sure it's best of 3, right? Yeah, I'm sure it's best of 3. If it's not, I look like a tit. But even still, GG to those 2 teams. it was definitely quite even to begin with, and then even Mike Oxlong, they had a nice lead, taking down all the tier 2 towers, even taking down tier 3 in the mid. But unfortunately, they just got repelled by the Incredibads, and they just couldn't ever sort of regain their foothold in that match. They just ended up getting pushed out. Vouchers has got the Ricky just got way too damn big. He could not deal with it, and sure enough, they all just got crushed in the end. But even still, well played to the Incredibads, and game 2 will be up in about 5-10 minutes or so. Depends how long the players want just to rest. So